Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm going to be unhauling some books. Here's the thing though, haven't actually picked them out yet. Thought it'd be kind of fun to just go around, do it now. Maybe it'll make me, not throw away, but make me get rid of some books that, if I was doing this not on film, I would and ahh about and keep. We shall see. To be fair, most of these books are definitely going to be books I've already read, because that's the kind of person I am. If I read a book and it was meh, I'm more likely to unhaul it than if I haven't read it and think, but what if it's really good? But hopefully there's at least a few books I haven't read that I'm going to unhaul. Mostly it's about space though, just to be able to fit my books in. So let's just get onto it. First of all, I'm just going to throw this one straight out here because I just finished doing my best and worst. If you haven't seen that, it was my last video I posted. Check it out. But I talked about this book. This was the only book that I physically owned that was on the worst books that I read in 2021 list. So boom, that is the first book that's going to go, of course. I have read it. It was just not good. I'm going to start here and then just go all the way around and get rid of some books. I've had this book for a few years and I feel like I'm probably not going to read it. It's just a parody on Harry Potter. It's called Barry Trotter and the Shameless Parody. Might just give it to my dad. I think he owned it back in the day anyway. So at least there's one book that I haven't read. I kind of want to keep it because the synopsis is just really funny, and at the end it's really funny because I've read like the outro. I'm not going to look at it because it'll make me want to keep it, and the whole point is to get rid of books. So I'm getting rid of that one. Elysium by Nurasakovic. Yes, Nurasakovic wrote my favourite trilogy in the whole world. All for the Game trilogy. This is another book by her. I read it, I enjoyed it to a degree, but it wasn't as good as them books. I also just picked this up and then I almost put it back down, but I thought, you know what? Let's just get rid of it because I've read it, it was alright. It's just taking up space. Boom! That's why it's better that I'm doing this with a camera on, because that would be straight back on there if I was just doing this randomly. The Maradaya trilogy by Michelle Hodkin. I read this a few years ago. I did think it was a pretty decent series. Am I going to reread it? Probably not. Do I need to own it? Not really. I feel like I'm doing really well. I'm actually getting rid of books for space, for more books. Yes. Oh, another one that I haven't read. So I have this book of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. Do I need it in a book form? No. You can get them for free online nowadays because they're so old. Just get them on Kindle for free in it. So, boom. There's one that I haven't read that I'm getting rid of. Oh, I feel like I'm winning. Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. It's a massive hardback. I liked it. I don't care about the sequels, so do I need to keep this one? No. Just massive in it. Maybe if it was paperback I would have kept it, but it's just taking up a lot of space and I need the space. I need the space for more books. Yeah, I quite liked it. I think I gave it like 4 stars. It's not a bad book, but it's big and it's taking up space, so let's get rid. The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. This is the first book in a series that I also have no interest in reading the rest of the series. But I did really like this book. It was about like a zombies. It was cool. I'm getting rid of it. I feel like keeping hold of it, but I'm not going to. Am I? I quite liked it though. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm getting rid. Shut up. That's the whole point. We'll leave it. It's going. It's going. It's going. Fantasy shelf down. Gonna go over here now. The Legal Gentleman, Volume 1. No. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The League of Gentlemen is a very different thing. I don't think I've read Volume 2. I'm going to keep that one, read it. I think I gave this maybe 3 stars. It wasn't the best. It wasn't horrific. But I don't need to own it anymore. Like I say, keep the second one. I'll probably have a look on my have I read it list, because maybe I've read it, but I don't think I have. So I'm going to keep that one, read it, and then probably unhaul it then. Because as you can see, I have like comics on the top of here, so I need space to fit them in. So yes. Lenore Wedges, again, read it several years ago. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. Don't need to own it. Not when I need the space for other things. Low by Rick Remender and someone called Tachini. I got this because Rick Remender is the author of Deadly Class, which I really enjoy. Well, this one I was a bit disappointed at, and I don't think I'm going to carry... I know I'm not going to carry on the series because there was a lot of information in here and I feel like didn't give you much chance to know what the shit was going on. So yeah, I'm gonna unhaul that one as well. Boom. Noble Causes, Volume 1, In Sickness and in Health. I read this, it was fine. I got this in a random bundle. When I first started reading comics, I would just find them and pick them up if they were cheap wherever, because they're really expensive. So if I could ever find any cheap, I would have it. And this I got off the market actually. I got a big bundle of them off the market for like pretty cheap. I read it, it was fine. It's not something I'm going to carry on the series with, so it can get out of my way and give me some space for the good stuff. Scooby Apocalypse, the whole series, volume 1 to 6. I've read the first 3. Here's the thing. There's too many words in them, which sounds really stupid because it's comics, but it's really irritating how many word bubbles are in here. It just takes ages to read. Look at this. Look at how many word bubbles there are. Nobody needs this many words in a comic, especially when the words are just chatting absolute bollocks. Because a lot of this, especially this first one, is just the characters having the exact same conversation over and over and over and over again. It's Scooby-Doo, but if monsters were real and something happens, and then one of them's saying, oh, it's your fault that this happened, and then another one's saying, no, it wasn't. And they have that same argument about 47 times. And yeah, I read the first 3, I gave them all 3 stars. But they were all like a mission to get through. But also, I don't know, they're a bit heavy, so it might take a bit of money to send them over. But I know Ashley's Media Addiction really likes Scooby-Doo, so maybe she would like these, I don't know. Let me know, Ashley. If not, then you know, whatever, they're going to the charity shop, innit? Let's carry on. Wolf by Rachel Ball. This is massive, it takes up so much space. I read it, I like how it's done. It's done like little sketchy things. Wait, let me just darken please. It's drawn like properly hand drawn. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. I found it for 50p in a charity shop, so it's not like I'm losing out. It's just really fucking big. And it needs to get out of my way so I can put other things in the space. So yes. Moving on to the Sci-Fi Shelf, which is down there. What you can see it, it's this guy. Down there. I'm just going to throw this in here. I've not read it yet. But if you saw my last unhaul that I did, I mentioned the fact that I was reading this series and then unhauling them. I unhauled all the rest of them. I haven't read this one yet. It is on my 2022 TBR. But when I finally read it, I'm going to unhaul it. I don't need to own this series, but I do want to finish it. So I just thought I'd mention it in this video because I'm probably not going to do another unhaul video. So this one will go when I've read it. I was so invested in taking books off my shelf, I forgot to even do my little spiel about the sponsors section. So here's a message from one of our sponsors. It's the littlest one. Hello, littlest sponsor. Look how massive it isn't. Look, that's my hand. That's how big this isn't. Hi, love. How you doing? You can probably hear that. But we're just chilling, aren't we? Would it be weird if I unhaul book 2 but kept book 1? Don't care, because I'm going to do it. The Electric Air by Victoria Lee. Didn't like this book. It was a big fat disappointment. Really liked the first one, because I'm going to keep that, but I didn't like where this went, and it just felt like all the characters acted differently and they all had different reasons and stuff. And I talked about it probably in 2020, probably when I read it, but it can go. Boom, moving on to the contemporary shelf. Also, side note, I know I've already mentioned it before, but there's definitely more books there than I would have done if I was just going through the shelves. So thanks for helping me out. Here's the thing. Barracuda's massive, but for some reason I really like the cover. That's not the person I am. I'm not here for the cover. Just because it looks like Troye Sivan doesn't mean I should keep it. Barracuda by Christos Tsiolskias. That's not how you say his name, but I can't be bothered. Don't you think he looks like Troye Sivan now? But that doesn't mean I should keep the book. 'Cause it's really chunky. I've read it. I liked it. Don't need to keep it. I'm not going to read it again. It's just really big, isn't it? Taking up a lot of space. It's not what we want. But look at it though. No. I'm not that person. I'm not the kind of person that keeps books for the covers. Especially not just a picture of a person. Come along. Carrying on. High Logical Behaviour by John Corey Whaley. Read it a few years ago. I liked it. That's fine. Don't need to own it. Don't need to say the same thing over and over again, but I still am. The Definition of Us by Sarah Harris. I read this maybe 2020. I thought it was really good. It's about a bunch of people that are in, what's the word I'm looking for? they have therapy and that, and then the therapist goes missing, and then they go and try and find them, and they've all got different mental health issues, problems, whatever. It was good, but I don't need to own it. What I do need to do is move that stack though, because it is on a fall. Big Man by Matthew J. Metzinger. I read it, I liked it. It did annoy me a little bit because of the main character always calling himself fat, and then he wasn't that big. But I liked it in the end, but I don't need to own it. Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey Mcquisten. I thought this was overhyped. I liked it enough. It was overhyped. Oh, what I didn't like about it was the writing style, and that's very important when you're reading a book. It's just it's written in a weird tense. Why has nobody mentioned this fact? It's written like, I can't think of what the tense is called in realistic terms, but it's like stage directions. So it's like, oh, Henry walked over to the bar. No, Henry walks over to the bar instead of Henry walked over to the bar. If that makes any sense. It annoyed me anyway, so I don't need to own the book. Dress Codes for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens. Read it a few years ago, liked it. It's a hardback, so it can get out of my life. A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard. I liked the book. Don't need to own it. This video is getting boring, I'm sure. But it's about a girl who is selective mute and a boy who is deaf. And it's really good, to be fair. But yeah. Next up, I have this whole stack of David Levithan books. Here's the thing. I've read most of these books. I think there's 3 here, or 3 that I haven't read. Here's the thing. Every David Levithan book to me is a 3-star read, so I don't know why I've got all these books still. It's very average. It's one of them authors I got into when I first started BookTube because I didn't know how to find authors. You know, John Green, David Levithan, all that. But his books aren't that good, to be fair. In fact, the only book, weirdly, that I didn't give 3 stars is the book that is a collection of short stories, which is weird because I don't normally like anthologies. But I give that one 4 stars. But I'm not going to keep it. Getting rid of them all. Boom. Don't need all these books taking up all the space when it's all very average. I've picked up 2 books I haven't read now because I need to get some of them off at least. So I have My Most Excellent Year by Steve Kluger and Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Carol Rivka Brunt. These are just books that whenever I look at them I don't think, oh, I'm really interested in picking that up. I feel like with these 2, just to be really bad, I might do not a try a chapter tag because I can't be asked to make it into a video, but I might read the first chapter of both of these and see if it sounds interesting, and if not then they can go. But I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because I clearly bought them for a reason. They were both second hand, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'll give them a chapter or 2, and if I'm just not vibed by it then they can go as well. Don't worry guys, I know this video is really boring, but I'm just going to go over to the last shelf now behind this one and yeah, see if there's anything on there. So finally I grabbed 3 from around there. All 3 of them I've read, so it doesn't take anything off my TBR, but I'm still going to get rid of them. First of all, Rainbow Grey by Lauren Ellen Anderson. If you saw my last wrap up you would know that it was very meh for me. It was too young, the writing was, and I didn't vibe with it. And it's a pretty new release, so I'm sure someone would find it very happily in a charity shop and be really glad about it and that. I also have What's Up with Jodie Barton by Hayley Long. This is a book I read a bajillion years ago, and then several years ago, but not as a bajillion, I picked it up again from a charity shop or somewhere, from secondhand anyway, to reread because I was doing a video that I wanted to talk about it in, but I wanted to make sure that I had all the facts right. I read it again, it was fine, I liked it, I don't need it anymore. And then finally I have Assassination Classroom Volume 1 by Yusei Matsu. Basically with me, with manga, so many of them have so many volumes and I don't know if I can be arsed, and I can't be arsed. And it's just loads of volumes, isn't it? I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like buying a million volumes of manga to read. I'm very picky with my manga. Like I have Death Note, that's 12 volumes, I'll accept. I have some other ones that are shorter, I'll accept. I don't want to be buying like 48 million books in a series. So there we go. Should I count them? Do you care? I'll count them. You just saw it anyway, but I'll count them. So I have 39 definites, and then them other 2 that I'm going to read a chapter of, and then maybe also them. And also the Pittacus Law one that I'm going to read and then unhaul. So it's pretty decent. I can definitely jangle my shelves around a bit more and fit things in better. I'll actually be able to put my comics and graphic novels in there, hopefully, be able to fit them all in. So love to see that. Hopefully, I was gonna say hopefully you enjoyed, but what was this? I didn't say anything about the books. Hopefully this existed and you watched it. But yeah, let me know down below any books on here that you've seen, that you have any opinions on. Have you unhauled any books recently? Do you want to? Say some words in it down below and I shall reply and all that. And if this is your first video but I mean you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others. And if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.